everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be doing my makeup inventory, and I was supposed to do this at the end of March, but I forgot to because for some strange reason I just didn't want to. I was like, I'm going to be lazy today. Not today. Well, I said that several days in a row, so I guess I'm going to be lazy this week and not film. So I didn't. And so here we are today on a Saturday with me trying to make up for it, and I have all the numbers. I just didn't take the pictures, and I'm going to do it while I edit this video, obviously, but I'm just being so lazy right now. And I have counted, but I keep going back and changing my numbers, so whatever you see in the pictures is going to be correct, and whatever I say out of my mouth may or may not be correct, but I'm pretty sure that like 90% of it is correct, which means I don't have that many categories. It's definitely growing, but I don't have that many categories. And I like to talk about my earrings today. So these are from the Pokemon Center. They've long been discontinued, but on my left side, I believe it's Bulbasaur hanging. Yes, Bulbasaur. And then on my right side, which I should have worn the longer side on, it's a Whimsicott. So I don't know if you can see it. They're two grass types, and I was going to get the fire type and the water type. But then I realized that I didn't really care for the Pokemon that were on it, so I decided to just get the Bulbasaur one because it's green, and green is my favorite color. Even though everyone thinks it's yellow, it's actually green. And yeah. I'm also not wearing that much makeup today because I was going to do a full face of makeup, but it's warm, so I didn't. And I was going to go get boba earlier and sushi earlier today for lunch, but I decided not to. Until just now, so my face wasn't exactly clean. I did end up putting on sunscreen, and I can still smell it, even though it's been a few hours. So this glows from the sunscreen and probably a little bit of my oils, but mostly the sunscreen. So we're just gonna go with that, and let's get into this before I like talk your ear off. I have my numbers from last time. So from December, or you saw the video in January, but I did say filmed it in December. At least I think I did. Or I'm telling myself I did. Starting with primers, I currently have 3 face primers. I previously had one. I believe it's the same one, but I'm almost done with it, so yay. And primers is something that I've decided to bring back into my life because I do wear foundation now. Or it's, I guess one of them is BB cream. So I do wear foundation slash BB creams now, and I find that they stay on your face a lot better with primer. Moving on to eye primers, I currently have 4. One of them is in a little jar, and it holds the Urban Decay primer potion. I don't know if you guys want me to talk about each one of these, but I'm not going to. But if you want a review on anything, just let me know. I previously had 3 eyeshadow primers, and I picked up the Milani one recently with the 21 Days of Beauty sale because it was going to ship for free because I have platinum. So I picked up a Beauty Steal, and I also picked up the Milani primer because, well, that was on sale as well, and it's smaller than I thought. I thought it was going to be bigger, but I think it holds close to the same amount as the Urban Decay primer potion, so it's whatever. I just bit my tongue. I mean, I'm almost out of the primer potion, so that's why I decided to pick up another eyeshadow primer. And I don't really have a problem with my primer categories, like the face primers or the eyeshadow primers, because I know I use it regularly. It's not like something I need to force myself to use, like foundation. Moving on to powders, I currently have 6, and I previously had 4. I'm really glad I did this makeup inventory because honestly I forgot I had some of these. Powders is kind of like a whatever for me. I use powder on a daily basis, and I use a lot of powder because I am so greasy. Although right now it doesn't really look greasy to me. It looks like more of a natural glow, so I'm happy about that. But I definitely use a lot of powders, and so having 6 is not that big of a deal. I did declutter one because I was like, I'm never going to get to this powder. I am never going to pick this powder over my Laura Mercier powder. So it was the Wet n Wild translucent setting powder. I do have a banana one that I'm keeping because it's yellow and it's better for the winter for me to use when I'm not wearing foundation. But when I'm wearing foundation, I cannot wear the banana powder because it turns my foundation yellow, and I guess my whole face like really, really yellow. So I'm keeping it because it's better for the winter. I have this Jumbo Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and even the regular smaller size took me like months to go through. So I'm very happy with the value I got out of it, but I am probably never going to be able to use up the... I'm just never going to get to the Wet n Wild powder, so I decided to declutter it. So I did have two, but you'll see one in the picture. Moving on to setting sprays, I currently have one. It feels like it's half full, and I previously had one. It's the exact same one, and I did pick up the Benefit Cosmetics setting spray, so it's like the third thing I'll ever try. No, it will be the second thing I've ever tried from Benefit, because I've tried the Professional. I didn't really like it, but I did pick up the Professional setting spray because it says there's no alcohol in it, and I know I'm going to finish my bottle of Urban Decay setting spray before the end of the year, which means that I'm not going to be able to snag the Excel setting sprays for a good deal. So I needed something to kind of hold me over, and I was thinking about getting the Milani setting spray because it's supposed to be very similar. I'm noticing a trend here. Milani seems to have dupes for a lot of Urban Decay products, which is good because it's drugstore, right? So I was going to get that originally, but with the Professional being half off, I figured that it would be better because it doesn't have alcohol in it. And I've been using the Urban Decay setting spray basically for, like, since I started really wearing makeup. I was previously using the Wet n Wild setting sprays, but it didn't really do anything. The Urban Decay setting spray definitely works, but I want to try the Professional and give my face a little bit of a break from, I think it has denatured alcohol in it. It does have alcohol in it, so yeah, I would like to give my face a little bit of a break, and who knows, I might end up like really enjoying it. Moving on to foundations, I currently have two. I previously had zero, so I have one BB cream, which is like my shade right now. I think it's shade 23 from the Misha BB cream line, and I tried some when I was in college, but I got like 21, and it was so gray on my face, I didn't like it, and it also didn't really stay on my face. But now that I have powder, I can set it a lot better, and shade 23 is more yellow, so it's better for me. And then for my foundation, it's way too dark. Or it was at least a few months ago, but I just went outside. I feel like I'm a lot browner than, well, an hour ago. So maybe I'll be able to use it soon. But for now, I'm just using the BB cream, and I don't use it every day. Even though it looks really good on me, I just am not used to wearing foundations. I think after I get rid of those two foundations, as in like use them up, I'm probably not going to buy foundation again. Because I keep going through these phases of, oh, I really want to wear foundation because it's going to make my skin look smooth. And then I put it on and I'm like, this is so heavy, it gets so cakey, and I just want it off of me. It's very satisfying to remove at the end of the day, but yeah, I realize my mistake as soon as I get it. I'm like, oh, now I have this full-size bottle of foundation that I need to use up. So, yep, I think I'm just going to stick to sample packets in the future. But I will say that the Misha BB cream is really good. I did have a scar, like, right near this eyebrow from picking at it, and I remember it was like very visible, and there was like one of those really painful pimples where it's like you can't, like, no matter how much you squeeze, it's not going to come out. So I did open a hole in it to use pimple patches and like suck it out over the course of like 2 days, and it worked and it went down, but it did leave some scarring. But when I used the BB cream, there was like barely any scarring. I don't know if you can see, but there's like no scarring, and that's what BB cream was originally used for. It was really good for like after surgeries, applying it there to like cover the scar and also help it heal faster. So I should really be using the BB cream more because I am a picker. I've always been a picker. Like, if I see a white head, it's getting destroyed immediately. If I see a black head, that's getting destroyed immediately, or like pulled out immediately, you know. And so I actually do have like a scar on my nose from when I was in middle school, and I just kept picking at the same spot despite my parents warning me that it was going to disfigure my face. And then I think last year it like blew up because there was a pimple there, and so after that went down, so did the little bump on my nose. So if you ever see that, it's like right here, that's what it's from. So I'm glad it went down because it was really big before. And it is like a permanent reminder to not pick at the same spot over and over again. Moving on to bronzers, I currently have 8. I previously had 6. I'm pretty sure that I got 2 new ones because I bought a face palette, and I don't know why I bought it because it looks too light, and also I did not read any reviews on it. Like, I literally bought it on a whim because it was 5 times the points on Smashbox. So I bought it. But I don't really regret it because it does have like a pretty high review, which I know is not like the best gauge of how good a product is, because I know a lot of people online will like lie about reviews, like, you know, the whole Sunday Riley fiasco. I haven't used it yet, but it looks like something up my alley, so yeah, that's why I'm keeping it. And then moving on to blush, I currently have 8. I previously had 7. And in my head I was like, where did that extra blush come from? And it also came from this Smashbox palette. So when I was like writing these down, I was like, I had everything sorted out, but that's the problem. I have like these face palettes and they count for more than one thing. Like, you know, there's bronzers, highlighters, and blushes in these palettes, and I was only counting them in one category. So that's why the pictures will be accurate, but what's coming out of my mouth might not necessarily be accurate. I am thinking about getting another blush during the Sephora VIB sale, but who knows if it will even be in stock by the time it's my turn, because I'm VIB, I'm not Rouge. I really hope I don't hit Rouge, but I would like to keep my VIB for, you know, next year. I think I'm close-ish. I usually go to Sephora to buy my skincare, so even having a makeup low buy doesn't really affect my status because I do get most of my skincare from Sephora because I am a bougie bitch. Moving on to highlighters, I currently have 12. I thought I had 11, but then I went back and counted and I was like, no, it's 12. So I have 12 highlighters. I previously had 11. So I think I missed a highlighter in my Charlotte Tilbury little duo, and I also don't know why I bought that. I think I was in line at Sephora, and it was the Sephora where I opened my Sephora account with my friend like years ago in 2019. I say years ago as if it was like a decade ago. But like, yeah, I opened it in 2019 with my friend, and I was going shopping with the same friend that day, and we were just feeling bougie because we were actually looking at engagement rings that day. Moving on to brows, I have 9, and it doesn't say brow pencils anymore because I did say earlier that I am wearing a brow mascara, and it's the one from Too Faced. I really like it actually, so I put it on today just to go out and grab my food that I ordered on the phone. It was really embarrassing because I was telling the guy, like, I was telling him my order, like, hey, I didn't order this, but like, for example, I want like a California roll, and he was like, okay, do you want anything else? But before I processed it, I thought he was asking me, like, what's the name on the order? And I said, it's Erica, and I was like, oh wait, shit, sorry, I thought you were asking for my name on the order. That's it, that's all I want. And I could hear him laughing so hard on the other side, and I was like, isn't that funny? But yeah, it was a little embarrassing when I went to go pick up my food, but I'm glad he wasn't the one who gave me my food. It was someone else. I can't believe that happened. It's one of those moments where it's like, I can never come back here again. It's okay. Anyways, so yeah, I am wearing that brow mascara because I was like, I cannot walk out of the house with no brows on. So I put on some brows. And it was my first time wearing the mascara, so I guess it was really a gamble, but I like how it turned out. It's like very natural because I barely have brows to begin with. So for brows I have 9, and one of them is a mascara, which means that 8 of them are brow pencils. And I believe at least 2 of them are deluxe size samples. They're not full size. I previously had 6. With brows, I don't really care how many I have because I will go through them. Like I said, I barely have brows, so I have to draw them in or like fill them in order to look normal, I guess. So that's why I'm okay with having brows, because I usually blow through brow pencils. But it's not something I've purchased this year. I actually got a lot of them for free. Moving on to lipsticks, I currently have 10. It says right here one of them is a liquid lipstick, and I previously had 7. I have at least 2 mini lipsticks, and I didn't know where to categorize my Clinique Almost lipstick in Black Honey, so I decided to put it in my tinted lip balm section, which I'm bringing back because I realize if I leave it out, I'm just going to forget about that category completely and just not use it, but I need to use it. So and it also says almost lipstick, which means it's not supposed to be lipstick. I did get a lot of lipsticks during the 10 times points on lip products. They got me good there, but I do have a lot of lipsticks to go through, and they're all either... I only have one that's like colorful, and it's the orange one from Flower Beauty, and I haven't opened it yet, but I think now would be a good time to open it because it is spring, and it's like a good spring/summer color, but the rest of them are nude or red. That sounds like I said neutered. Nude or red. I really need to work on my enunciation. Did I say it right? See, I can't even say that word properly. Pronunciation or enunciation. There we go. Moving on to lip gloss. I currently have 11, and I previously had 7. I don't mind having a lot of lip gloss because I love me some lip gloss. But let me tell you, one of my lip glosses expired on me, and it was my favorite one. And it's discontinued, so I can never get it again. So I should really be slowing down on buying this makeup products in general, I guess, which is why I'm on a low buy. But it was like a big fat reality check, and I'm really sad, but at least Bare Minerals still has their lip glosses for sale, and that's not discontinued, and that's my current favorite formula, so I just need to really buckle down and use those up. All my lip glosses are nude. I don't have like a red lip gloss. They're all nude. I think I have one that's a little bit darker than the others, but otherwise they're all nude. So, preferences, I guess. Moving on to lip liners, I currently have 3. I previously had 3. The exact same 3, but one of them is a little shorter now, and it's in my project pan, but I think I'm going to be removing it in the upcoming updates, so spoiler alert, I guess, so I can put it into my graveyard project pan, and it's not really the best time of the year to use it. Moving on to tinted lip balms, I currently have 6, so I have my one from Laneige, I have my Milk Makeup Kush lip balms, so I have like Bubble and Plushberry. I have 2 of each of those. And then I have the Almost lipstick. That's 6. So I previously had 5, and I think the newest one is the Almost lipstick. I was so excited to try it, and I barely wear it. Like, I've only worn it once just to see what it's like. Good job, me. Moving on to eyeliners, I previously had 4, and I currently have 4. It's the same 4. I did mention that I was getting some eyeliners from Ulta. I think if I didn't, I'll just mention it now. I used to have 8 between this update and the last update, but I'm going to be returning those eyeliners because they suck. Like, they're really, really bad. And I don't like to return makeup, but it was just such bad quality, I don't want to keep it. Moving on to mascaras, I currently have 6. I previously had 8. This is like one of the only 2 categories where I went down within the span of 3 months. Can you believe it? So I used up 2, obviously. I don't throw away mascaras that are like, that I don't like. I just use it for the time being. I mean, I use it for 3 months and then decide whether or not to keep it. So I think I must have thrown one out really close to the update, and then I threw out another one like 3 months after. So it is April 2nd today, so if you were wondering the date. And the one I remember using one up because it like hit expiration. The other one just sucked. So after 3 months, I was like, you know what? This is not giving me the volume I was expecting. I'm just going to get rid of it. And so I did. After 3 months, because it just didn't get better, the formula. You know how like some mascaras, if you let it dry out a little bit, it gets better because it's less watery and the formula is more thick. So it makes your lashes thicker or more voluminous. And that just never happened. Getting to the exciting part, which is eyeshadows. I'm going to talk about my eyeshadow singles. I currently have 8, and I previously had 15. I must have decluttered a lot of them because where else would I have put it? Yeah, I think I decluttered a lot of them. Everything you see in the picture should be from... No, it's not. There is one new thing. I think the MAC eyeshadow is new. It's in the color Soba. I bought it to wear on my first day of work at... I almost said where I was going to work. Yeah, my first day of work. And now we have to go back into the office. So I guess I could make it my work shade, but I don't know if I want to make it my work shade because I realized that I have that brown in like most of my palettes anyway, so I didn't have to buy it, but it does look nice. Moving on to eyeshadow quads. I have it in like, what is it? Quotation marks, quads, because it's like everything but a quad. So I count these as like anything between like 2 and 7, or like 2 and 5. But I don't have any palettes that are like 7 pans only, so it's like anything that's 8 pans or more I count as a palette. So I previously had 3 quads. I currently have 3 quads, and I previously had 2. The Natasha Denona quad is new, and I didn't need to buy it. It's actually a quint. Anyways, so the Natasha Denona quint I didn't need to buy, but I bought it because I thought that, you know, it was like really unique colors for my collection, and it is not. Literally the only unique color in that palette is the dark blue, which is not something I was going to really wear often anyway. So I think it was more of it was on sale for half off, so it was $12.50, and I'm glad I bought it at $12.50 instead of the full price because it is tiny. I thought it was going to be bigger. And lastly, we have eyeshadow palettes, and when I was totaling everything, I was like, okay, that's it. And then I walk into here to film because all my makeup is outside, and I'm sure my boyfriend is going to see it all on the floor and tell me to clean it up before he steps on it, and I'm sure he's going to step on it, so I need to clean it up really quick after this. So I thought I had 20 palettes, but it turns out I have 21 palettes, and I previously had 20, and this is after a declutter. So I am decluttering some palettes. I will be talking about that in my makeup rehab series. But basically, I just feel like someone else can get more use out of them, and I have not touched those palettes in quite some time since I purchased it, so I'm going to be donating it to Project Beauty Share, and yeah. But I decluttered 3 palettes, and I still went up 1, which means I must have purchased 4 palettes, and I think I know what those 4 palettes are, so shame on me, I guess. I need to figure out what the total of everything is, but I'm pretty sure it's over 100 because last time I was already over 100, and I need to bring this number down. And in my makeup rehab, I said that I wanted to bring it under 100 items, but the only way I would be able to do that is through decluttering and not buying as much. So limiting myself to 20 purchases per year, but I would also have to be decluttering and so that's what I've been doing. So declutters don't allow me to buy more stuff. It just lowers my numbers like permanently. So that's everything. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a makeup inventory, please let me know, because I love watching them and seeing like, oh, do they have the same things as me, or like what is their preference in makeup. And it's really interesting to hear what people's thoughts are on their own collection. Like for me, after having that lip gloss expire on me, I've suddenly become very aware of how big my collection is and how I will never be able to use up all of my eyeshadow palettes before they expire or before I deem them to be too old to use. I definitely know that my lip gloss is expired because it smells funny and it also dries out my lips, so those are like two big factors. I definitely want to stop buying as much stuff and use up more stuff, because like having makeup expire on you is like the worst feeling in the world, especially if it's your favorite, like what happened to me. So I'm definitely going to try not to let things go to waste. I know I have a couple of products that I'm going to be using up, like my NARS Casino bronzer, it's on its last legs, and my NARS blush is also on its last legs, but I was planning on buying another blush, so that number's gonna go back up anyways. And yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in 3 months. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in June, at the end of June. This video was supposed to go up at the end of March, but it's going up in the beginning of April instead. Bye!